Kittens, I'm going to talk about being bossed around. Now, in life, no one likes to be bossed around. It's not appreciated, and especially if you have the scenario of support worker client. A client is generally an adult. There's going to be some times where a support worker does work with, a younger person, but generally speaking, a client is there not to be bossed around, but to work with the support worker. I've actually had to fire people because they were too bossy. And I would say, you're being too bossy. You don't come into my house when I am a grown adult and boss me around, because it's not going to work. People who are too bossy, which I've had in the past, they generally don't keep working for me. I've also had, because I'm the youngest in my family, I've had people personally boss me around. And believe me, I don't like it one bit. Not at all. If you boss someone around who's an adult, and someone who's not, childlike, I can sometimes act childish, but it doesn't mean that I'm not an adult. You need to know I am 52 years old. I am not 2 years old. And I don't appreciate being bossed around ever. Because if you are a support worker and you boss me around, you're not going to keep your job. Coming into my house, bossing me around, treat me like I'm 2 years old, is not going to keep your job. And you should not be bossing people around anyhow. You should be working equally with a client, not bossing them around. You don't come into their house and boss them around. It is disrespectful and it is rude behaviour. So no one likes being bossed around in life. You can guide someone, but at the end of the day, it is the client's decision. Just say if a client had a house and they wanted to paint their wall purple, as it's their house, that is their choice. You may say, oh, look, that purple don't look too good. It looking to be, muddy or funny. At the end of the day, the client's decision is the client's decision. And they're not 2 years old. They don't need to be babied and all that sort of thing. To like the video, please press the like button. Subscribe to the Meow Meow Clan and press the notification bell. And always show equal respect to everyone that you come in contact. Because being bossy, it don't work for me. Meow, 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 meow.